everybody. Welcome to the Going Global segment of Telly Tadka, the show that connects fans with celebrities. Today we have with us Sarmad Khoosat, the director of the much-loved drama Humsafar. Thank you so much for being here with us today. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. First and foremost, why did you choose this field as your profession?
I mean, that's a very long story. That's a story which probably has to trace back to I don't know how many years. But frankly, my dad has been in this profession for all his life, and so, there was a connection already. I was all set to become a doctor, but that somehow didn't work out, and I just sort of landed in the pan, So, and I liked it. I really sort of, it was more of a love at first sight with the whole, the entertainment business. And then I believe that, somewhere I had that storyteller instinct in me. So I thought that this was the best way to tell stories. So I think yes. I mean, partly because my family, some of my family was already involved in it, and then it was a bit sort of easier to get into it. But then later on, I think it was just passion and love for just the audiovisual storytelling technique, which kept me.
Yeah. I mean, as you said, your father's a big part of the industry, and he's like a veteran actor, director, and even a well-known comedian. How do you feel? Do you feel like you had to be compared to him, or did you feel you had to make your own identity to get out of the shadow of being the son of such a veteran actor?
You see, I mean, your parents are always like your identity, and I think that's not only just a proud thing, but I think that's such a strong connection that there is no, I think there should be no qualms about it. But of course, when you're in the same profession, you are compared to the achievements of your predecessors, or even if they're your contemporaries. But I think primarily in my case, my dad has always been more inclined towards acting, and I did not pursue acting with such passion, or that didn't really sort of invest so much time in it as he did. So instantly, I think the comparison did not really happen. As an actor, yes, but I never aspired to be the legend that he is. So other than that, I also believe that. It's a very cruel profession. It's a very cold-blooded profession. I mean, probably getting into it could be easier because if you have contacts because of your parents or whoever. But then it's just about what you have to offer and what you have to show. So I think that all the comparisons and all the criticisms or whatever, it had to fade away because I was just focusing on my my own work. I was just focusing on direction, and people just eventually, I think they credited me for whatever I was capable of doing.
Yeah.
But I think it's a nice connection. I mean, it's a bond which not only supports you, but I think it gives you an interesting kind of strength as well.
Definitely. In 2011 was when you directed Pani Jaisa Pyar, am I correct?
Yes, I did. Yes,
so
I did.
How did you get this opportunity? I mean, I must say it was a very well-directed drama. I used to watch it myself. It was very, very good.
Actually, I've been around for quite a while now. I mean, I started working at a very young age, frankly. I started with radio, and then I started acting, and I used to write a comedy series. So I've been around for a while. I mean, so Pani Jaisa Pyar per se would be my first big commercial 8 to 9 primetime serial.
Right.
So people knew me. I mean, I think in a very immodest way, I would say that I either used to do my comedies before that, or I used to do some, really offbeat kind of what generally is categorized as parallel stream type work.
Yeah.
So I was known to the industry, the professionals, the producers, they knew me. There was a bit of acclaim and appreciation for the kind of work I was doing. But with Pani Jaisa Pyar, I eventually decided that, okay, I'll deal with melodrama now, which was a genre that I had not practiced so well, and I had not really exercised it. Like with Humsafar, I believe that it was the first time that I dealt with romance on screen. I'd never dealt with a romantic story, and a melodramatic romantic story for that matter. So Pani Jaisa Pyar just happened, frankly. I mean, it was a script which was offered to me with a bit of my input, with a bit of alterations that I demanded. I think things just worked out on their own.
So do you feel, Pani Jaisa Pyar was more melodramatic, Humsafar more was of a romance. Do you feel one is more difficult to direct than the other? Even comedy, per se, as an option?
I believe, if you're a storyteller, and I think if you're not shying away and you're not scared of experiments, then I think it's not a question of genre. It's just a question of how much energy and how much emotion are you willing to, let into it, to invest in it. So that way, I would say that, frankly, since most of the work on TV and in film is generally about popular appeal, it's so oriented towards mass consumption that I, frankly, did not feel excited about doing that kind of work earlier. So with Humsafar and Pani Jaisa Pyar, I would say that I tried to understand what the audiences want and how that could be respected, and then how one could find that middle ground where you're not completely letting go of your own style and also not just discarding, all of us have that melodrama in us. All of us, and particularly people from our part of the world, subcontinent for that matter, or Asia, the melodrama and our emotion is a little charged up. So I believe that it is difficult in the sense that it's not as much of a statement as one would want to make if one has been around for a while. So, you definitely do question that, what am I saying with this work? Mm-hmm. But I think with these two particularly, I respected and started understanding the concept of healthy entertainment and the importance of making feel-good work, feel-good entertainment, which probably is the best message that you can, put across at the end of the day.
Right. As for Humsafar, the hot topic, I must commend you. It was an amazing piece of work, and you have so many fans. Not even at a national level, but at an international level, it was very critically acclaimed. So, did you expect this positive response and all this love?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, it was completely like, a surprise, a big, pleasant, happy surprise for all of us, the entire team. Of course, there were a lot of good things along the journey of Humsafar. I mean, I would say the process was, of course, a little different from the rest of the work that I had done before that. But I would say that, yes, I mean, I never expected. This was really, really unbelievable. This was actually like, when you just look up and you just smile at God up there and you're like, hey, I mean, this was brilliant. I mean, this was sweet, and this was so kind of people and God. I would say that it just actually unbelievable, to be perfectly honest.
How was it working with the cast? I mean, did you enjoy it? Was everybody cooperating?
I think there's no word. Every word seems small and I actually say it very bluntly now that I absolutely loved everyone on the cast of Humsafar. This was the first time that I actually also, I might sound a bit sort of, pseudo or, a bit bookish about, but I would say that there was such great positive energy about everyone. Some of them I had worked with before. Atika I was friends with. Behroz Saab I had been seeing on TV as an actor since my childhood. Mahira, I just knew of from her television commercials.
Right.
Fawad, I had just sort of met a couple of times, but all of us, just came together, and the relationship also grew with the journey of Humsafar, which was fantastic, frankly, which was just brilliant. I actually fell in love with all my cast. I mean, this was one of those rare experiences when I actually loved looking at the monitor, while I was shooting, which at times does not happen, because you do not really feel that connection with whatever is there on the monitor as it happens, So I think, I met some of the most lovely people that one can ever come across.
Definitely, the chemistry between the actors and the communication between the director, you and the actors must have been great, because it was communicated very well on screen, and it seemed like you were all in touch and knew what you wanted to show and present to the audience. So now we have questions from the fans, and 3 of them, Udaya, Sri, Sadia, and another Udaya, they have the same question. Are you planning something like Humsafar again in the near future, whether it's the same cast or a show with around
to be perfectly honest,
genre?
I mean, there have been rumors and there have been proposals about sequels and stuff, but frankly, you see, when something just happens, I think that opportunity, that moment, that space and time is so important that it should have just happened then only, So I would be really scared to make a sequel. The sequel is completely out. And for me, now if the story has to extend, it would be about another generation or another phase of their life. No, I think for me, Humsafar is just about 2 people falling in love, things not working out, and how they come together again, So for me, Humsafar's story, really, it ends there. There's no sequel to it. Yes, I wanted to blow it up a bit and do a film on it, like, people would make a film on Sex and the City, and people would just remake Spider-Man or something, So people, that way, I really wanted to do, like, a relatively bigger proportion of of the whole narrative, and just do nice song and dance or something. But that, I don't know, a lot of people on the crew and the team were not game enough for.
Right.
Otherwise, I think now I am taking them one by one. There's a serial which is already on air. The first episode aired today on a channel called Jio. It's called Ashk.
Yes, I have to ask. I was going to ask you about that.
That is Fawad Khan in it. And another one which goes on air on the 29th of June on Hum TV again has Mahira in it.
Yes,
with different people, of course. They're not together.
Yes.
So, I mean, that way, you see, also, I would say that, yes, one would really want to work with the same people again, but also one has to realize that for people, it's just an episode, comprising of, 38, 40 minutes every week, but it's months and months of labor, So people do, of course, I don't want to get them bored or bore myself, and I also want to, challenge myself and challenge my actors, and that requires putting them or throwing them in different waters, if not deeper ones, and of course myself as well. So yes, at some point I would really want to have Fawad and Mahira again together as a couple on screen, but so I don't know. I mean, I would really want to repeat that, but of course in another situation, in another way, on another level.
All right. Sadia has also asked, what was it like shooting the intense scenes? Was there any special kind of preparations that went into it? Like, were they groomed a certain way, or did they have to do some research or on how their characters should be played?
I think that's an easy and an interesting thing about melodrama. And when you have, unless you have somebody who's brought up in another culture and then you bring them to a situation like that, probably it's difficult for them. But I would say that kind of an emotion is already there in us. So actors just need to be good about the mechanical aspect of it. Right. That is, understanding the camera and the technicalities and the light and everything, Other than that, I would say that just to bring that emotion out and to bring it in an authentic way and also to make it look believable is all that I strive for as a director. So I would say that it was not really that sort of an elaborate or complicated research or prep. I believe that somehow, yes, with some supervision, but there was this energy which was created around the set, and people just sort of delivered on their own, frankly.
Definitely. The last question, which I kind of find of interesting myself, is from Sati as well. She said, I got the feeling that Atika Odo's character was probably the most disconnected character of the show. Disconnected in the sense that she was borderline sadistic. What sort of process went into her grooming?
You see, Atika, for that matter, I would say, is a very interesting actor. She's an impulsive actor. She isn't the kind of actor who would really give you that, that feeling before the final take that she's prepared. She just prepares very quietly on her own, And as an actor, I think she has a very different image. I mean, she had very soft image, a very sort of, a feel-good image, and most of the characters she had done were they drew another kind of empathy from the audience.
Right.
This one was all about playing like a dark villain,
Yeah.
So I believe that that was one casting that I particularly did on my own, and I insisted on it, whereas we had problems and we were about to, go for other options. But I just insisted, because I said that until the part where she takes that mask off, if she gives away even a hint of what she's going to do, the story falls flat, because there is nothing else as a conflict. The whole conflict is about this woman who, out of whatever selfish love for her son, ruins his life,
Right.
And in a ruthless way, in a very Freudian and, for that matter, a very sort of, archaic way,
Yeah.
Archaic and arcane at the same time, I would say. That this is a very Oedipal relationship on a very sort of, quiet level. So Atika, I think, understands that complexity very well. And honestly speaking, and since she has also quoted that in her interviews and all, that she herself was going through a lot of turmoil in her personal life regarding whatever scandals and allegations were, being sort of, thrown at her. And so that kind of, she says that she took this particular acting job as therapy, and she kind of vented it out. So I believe that
channeled through her character, I'm assuming. What's next? What do you plan for the future besides the two dramas that are?
I want to do a movie.
I
want to do a movie. I want to do a movie soon, inshallah ta'ala. That's what the plan is, and I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what it is actually going to be about. I do have a story in my mind. I'm doing a bit of TV, but frankly, I'm not really getting fixated in the genre now. I mean, no more romance for the time being. I just felt that, I should not repeat that, and nothing that I would do would ever be not compared with Humsafar,
Right.
So that's a tough one, because everybody is going to compare it to Humsafar. And that's what is not a nice idea,
Do you have a dream cast in mind that would be perfect for your storyline?
Not for the storyline, but for any film, I think it would be a nice idea. It would be a great idea to have Fawad and Mahira together.
Definitely.
And I would really want to do that.
I mean, we wish you all the best on your future endeavors, whether it's on TV or it's in movies. And I personally want to say thank you so much for giving your time to us.
You're most welcome, Sarah. And I also believe that, you see, it's a very interesting phenomena that you make something, or you at least pretend to have created something, but once it's made or created, it's more about how people look at it, or how they receive it. So I think whatever became of Humsafar has a lot to do with the way the audiences here and all over the world took it, and a big thank you to the fans or the viewers of Humsafar in India and US, especially through this conversation.
Thank you so much. This is Sarah signing off from Telly Tadka, the show that connects fans with celebrities. See you next week.